push all these things off to the side. And we are going to be using, like I said earlier in the class, we are going to be using the Charming Sentiments stamp set for our sentiment, and then the sentiment silhouettes. And if you missed the beginning of the show, I mentioned that I created a very quick, where is it? Sheet showing you how to put these dies together. There it is. And I did link this in the description of this video for you guys. So all I did was I stamped each of the sentiments. So I took out the die sets. And so here is obviously this side. So I figured out what stamps went with which die. So I stamped the image and then I placed the die over the top of it. And then I traced around it with a pencil. Okay. And I just did that with all of the sentiments on each of these sheets. And so that's all I did. And so this is a free download for you guys. All you gotta do is the description of this video. There is a link. It should open up as a Google Doc. There's no privacy settings on it, so you can just randomly open it and download it at will. I'm going to keep one in my stamp set. And it was very, like I said, it's very rudimentary. That's the word I'm looking for. It's very rudimentary, but it works, is what I'm saying. So there you go. Okay. So that's what we're going to use for our sentiment. We're also going to be using these new cool split card textures dies, and so they are just what they say. They're to split the card, and there's two of them. So one of them is this fun grid pattern, which is so fun. This is the one we're actually going to be using today. And then there's this one also, like this. Isn't that fun? Yay! Okay, so we're going to use this one. So I have already done that on a piece of white. I've die cut that out of the white. So let me put this away and get out some colors. And then here are the other colors I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using the Starry Sky and the Tahitian Tide. So pretty. So we have some scrap white cardstock here, and I have this little, we're using the cup of tea also. This is our class, our online class for the month under my chamois. No, it's not there. I found it, but thank you for the tip. So we're going to use this little, this cup, the striped cup, and then the little foliage. And then I'm not going to use the stamped flowers, but I'm going to use the die cut flowers, perhaps a lime. We'll see. And then we're going to use one of the sentiments out of the Charming Sentiments set. And we're going to use the, I think I chose Wishing You Everything Wonderful. Is that right? I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. Okay. So I already have some of these things die cut and stamped, but we'll go ahead and just for the heck of it. So I need two of these. So we'll stamp two of those. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And then I also need the teacup, which I think that might be on my Stamparatus, and it is. So what I did was I have the Stamparatus here, and I die cut a blank out of just white cardstock. I plopped it in here, and then I inked only the cup here, and then I stamped it, and then I have my little cup. So that's how I did that. And I had it on my Stamparatus because I was doing some swaps with it, and I find it very simple to do swapping if you're doing a whole bunch of cards, to have your Stamparatus as part of your arsenal, because it makes it go a lot quicker. So there you go. All right, so we did the cup in Starry Sky, the foliage pieces in the Parakeet Party, and then of course we would die cut those, which I have done. So here's one of them, and then here's the other one, and you can see that I also kind of chopped this one, not really in half, maybe in 2/3 and 1/3, because I want to kind of stack them up behind the cup. So my theory, this is what I had in my brain, that I would have, you know, the first layer coming out of the cup, and then we would use the second piece. So there's like a lot coming out of the cup. So the cup overflows, I guess, as you could say. All right, so then I'm not going to use this little piece here, so I'm just going to put it off to the side. So what I need to do is I need to glue my little thing here. So this is a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of white. And then this Tahitian Tide is like slightly smaller. So it's like 3 7/8, but a little bigger, by 5 1/4 1/8 but a little bigger. So I just wanted it slightly smaller so that when I go to glue it on, it won't show around the edges. So now I'm going to go ahead and just throw some glue on here. And I thought, well, you know what? I've got this other little glue bottle here that might actually be helpful for this. If I can get the glue to come out. Sometimes I have to shake it pretty hard. But this has a teeny tiny little tip on it. There we go. And I feel like I can really get some skinny glue coming out. And this is one of those things that I have linked down below in my little Amazon store. If it's not actually linked below this video, then you can find it on my blog with the link that's on here that goes to my blog. So I'm just going to add just some random. I'm not trying to get every single spot, but you know, just a few so that it'll get stuck pretty good. Okay, put the pin back in there. Oh, this is where, if you can't see very well, it can be a bit of a challenge. And then I'm going to wipe this glue off my hand. So, all right. So then, actually, I think I might do it like this. If I do it upside down, then I can actually sort of see really well. Did I screw this up and not cut this short enough? I feel like I didn't cut it short enough. Hold on. Ugh. I need to take like just the tiniest little hairs off of this piece. That should be good. All right, I'm going to bring that back in. Okay, because I just want the tiniest bit of white to show, and then that will tell me that the whole thing is basically covered. Okay, so you can see that it fits really nicely on there and that none of it shows on the outer edges. And then I can put this on with some dimensionals. If I can find them again, here we go. And we have Kathy joining us. Hello, Kathy. A lot of you guys are commenting about my little tiny glue bottle, how much you love it. I do too. They are sold in a package of 2. They have metal tips, which is really nice, and they come with a pin. But I actually changed my pin. Somebody had mentioned that the pins can be, they can rust, which I did kind of notice that happening. And so I just found a different pin in my craft room. But it doesn't do anything to the glue. It just kind of discolors it a little bit, but it still works just fine. You know, I mean, the glue is maybe a tiny bit of a lightish brownish color, but it still looked fine. All right. So let's get this on the front here. Something like that. Okay. And then for my cup, yeah, Irene says it needs to be stainless, and I don't have any idea if my needle is, or my pin is stainless or not. I really have no idea. So I just changed it to this other pin that I had, and I haven't noticed it happening. So there you go. All right, so I did just tack this down, and I do want to pop this layer up, but then not this one behind it. So let's see how this will work for us. We'll put a dimensional there. We'll put a dimensional there, and maybe we'll bring in some small dimensionals to get into these little foliage pieces up here. That should work. Peel the backings off. Okay. And then we're going to stick the cup here on the card like that. And then I'm just going to add this with just some glue. And oh, you know what? I might have to cut this because it might, yep. I forgot that I put dimensionals underneath there, so I'm going to have to kind of move this a tiny bit. So we're going to do that. Now there's a little gap here, but you know what? I have a flower because the set comes with a die that cuts out these little flowers, 5 of them. Where are all of my tiny little flowers? I see 4 here. Well, it would give me 5. So you get 5 little flowers. And so I'm just going to go ahead and put a flower right there, and then it will hide my little gap. So no one will even know about that. Okay, so we've got that one. We need to put this big one. And I did it out of the Starry Sky and the Tahitian Tide. And then some of these I actually put rhinestones on. And now this is a kind of a funny story. I'm pretty sure that yesterday when I was live in the catalog kickoff group, that I used my in color matte dots for something. I don't remember what it was. I'm pretty sure I used them. I can't find them anywhere now. No idea where they went. They're just gone. So if anybody finds them, let me know. I literally cleaned my entire stamp room today because I couldn't find them. I was like, what in the heck? What happened to them? I don't know. And now I need some more rhinestones. So I'm going to bring my take your pick tool in here. And I can't decide. These flowers are a little bit bigger. So I don't know if I stick. Yeah, that should probably work. Okay. They're not in my box. No, I emptied out all my boxes last night and cleaned up everything from my buckets from the live show last night. I cleaned out everything. I don't have any idea where they are. It happens down here frequently that I lose things. I don't know. I kind of feel like I should have put, maybe I can move this because it's not stuck totally. And then I want another little tiny one up here. And I know this is probably going to be a weird, because it's only going to be 6 and there should probably be 7. But, I don't have another small one, so I can't do 7. So we're going to do 6 and hope that it looks fine. Okay, so we have all those in the cup. Now for the sentiment, which is super fun. I forgot to do everything I was going to do, so I'm going to have to tell you what I did. Okay, so I chose the everything will be okay sentiment. I thought I chose this. I chose everything will be okay. So this says everything will be okay. So I stamped it on white, and then I discovered which die, would cut it out. And I believe it's this one right here. So I cropped it out, and then I cropped out the same die. I cropped it out of Parakeet Party. And then I sliced that in half, and then I put it behind my everything will be okay so that it looks like I have a layer behind that. And I don't, but it looks like I do. And then I'm just going to set this right over here in the grid because I thought that would look okay. And we can do it with dimensionals if we so desire. So I'll just grab a couple of minis here and we'll put some mini dimensionals there. And then we'll just pick a spot. I kind of feel like I don't want it to be clear up at the top. I feel like that's okay. That is so cute. Then I took some of the baker's twine, the in color baker's twine, and I got the Tahitian Tide. And oh, maybe it's in a stamp set. Yeah, Debbie, it might be. I'll have to look. And I tied myself a tiny little bow. So we're going to bring in our glue dots again, and I'm going to roll this glue dot into a tube or a log or whatever you want to call it, because like I've told you before, this particular roll of glue dots is gigantic. It's ginormous and huge. And so I need to do something with these. So I find that rolling them into tubes is helpful. Okay. And then I'm going to stick this on. I think I'm going to kind of stick it off to the side a little bit, just because sometimes trying to stick things exactly in the middle is hard. So if you purposely stick things not in the middle, oh, for heaven's sakes, quit sticking to my finger, you silly little thing. There. Then it's easier. Then I also have this lime. I don't know. What do you guys think? With the lime, so lime or no lime? What are you guys' thoughts on the lime? And then I am going to stamp my inside, which I'm going to kind of do the same thing I just did, but I might actually use the little flowery stamps. So I'm going to pull those out of here and get them on a block. Get a block in here. Are most of you saying yes, lime? Okay, I think most people are saying lime. Maybe the borrowers. Yeah, who knows, Lisa? That's possible. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this again at the bottom of my inside layer. Right down here. Like, actually, you know what? I'm going to stamp it so it's kind of hanging off. So hold on, let me get my scratch paper back in here. And I'm going to... Oh, and now I did that. All right. No, we need a new one. Wow, the struggle is real sometimes, I tell you. All right, I was a little bit heavy-handed getting the ink on that, so we're going to be a little bit more careful this time. Yay, that worked out good. And then for my little flowers, I think I'm going to go with the Tahitian Tide. And here's that little set of flowers that coordinates with this little bunch of, I don't know, they're not weeds. I don't know what they are. So I'm going to try to figure out where all these go and then just try to wing it. I feel like that's probably all right. Yeah, that'll work. And I'm going to stick that on the inside. So let me get my lime on here. So I'm going to use a little bit of glue on this side and then a mini dimensional on the other side so that it's like the same height as my cup. There. That's how that's going to go. And then this is going to go on the inside. So I'm going to bring in my seal, run that, flip it around like I always do, and then line up the top, the bottom, and the outside edge. There we go. So cute. I am loving this thing so much. It's the colors, you know. I honestly don't know if I'd like it as much if it didn't have these colors. But then I also think to myself, I think it would look good with like other color combinations too. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there we go.